Hello guys, 1, 2, 3. Hello guys, my name is Abdullah Elizabeth, and you are welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe to my channel. You can do that after you have gone through my videos, and if you think this my kind of content are the kind of content that interests you, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much as always. So today I'm going to be reviewing the movie titled King of Boys Second. That's Return of the King, aka Laburu has finally come. Alright, so but before I review this movie, I really need to put this out there that I am a big King of Boys fan, and I'm definitely a big fan of Kemi Adetiba. I love her movies, I love the energy and all the work that she puts into her production. So for everything that I'm going to be saying in this video, I want you to believe that it comes from a totally unbiased point of view and that you can totally trust my judgment. So without further ado, let's just delve right into the video. With many of his characters from King of Boys 1, and the characters that he returns with, they include Shola Shobowale and Tony Tones. Of course, these two people had to be them, Shola Shobowale and Tony Tones. He comes back with Reminisce, Il Bliss, Titi Kuti, Osas, Igodaro, and a number of like little minor characters in the movie. The movie also introduces new casts like Inse Ikpe Etim, Richard Mufeda Mijo, Efe Iwara, Deyemi Okonlawon, Charlie Boy, Lord Frank. I know a host of characters that we cannot even begin to mention. The movie picks up from when Eniola Salami returns from a 5-year exile, and to say that Eniola Salami's return was already enough alarm for so many people. Was already so many people, alarms were already ringing in our head the moment that they saw that Eniola Salami was back to the country. I mean, she had to come for her enemies, and not only did Eniola now stop there, she now decided to announce on that particular day that she was going to be contesting for the position of the governor of Lagos State, which in itself just garnered more enemies for her. Another thing that Eniola Salami had to contend with in this movie was maintaining her table, her position at the table. That is her position as King of Boys. She had to maintain her position of Oba. She had to maintain it and establish it and let these people know that whatever you people want to do or whatever you people want to think, I would always remain the Oba of this table is until I say otherwise. You guys should just take me for I'm always very excited when I'm talking about King of Boys, but let me just calm down. Another thing that she had to contend with in this movie was that she had to mourn her kids, and that was so evident in this movie with the kind of pain that the way she expressed. It was very evident in this movie that she was mourning her children, and she was also at the same time seeking retribution for her soul. She wanted to be forgiven for all of her past errors. The movie is definitely is centered on crime, on politics, and in itself it is a satire because it exposes to us the ills of the Nigerian government. I'm sure it's not just restricted to the Nigerian government, and at the same time it allows us to see the undergrounds. The undergrounds and the evil works, or if we call it evil, the works that like the undergrounds that go into politics, that it is beyond what we laymen, you and I, is beyond what we actually see on the forefront. Another thing that this movie does or did was that it empowers women in such an amazing way, and you can tell this through Eniola Salami, the main character in the movie, Inse Ikpe Etim, and even the mother of the Lagos State governor. And she was referred to as chief. From their character, the power of their characters, and just the authorities that they were occupying in the movie, you're able to see that she at every point tried to empower women and let you know that a woman is actually more than enough, more than we think she may be. So at this point, I want to talk about the things that I found very noteworthy in the Return of the King. And first thing has to be the background music. Oh my gosh, like at every point it felt like at every point, every of the music that was played at every scene, it was just so perfect. It was suiting for whatever emotions were happening. I mean, especially the Yoruba songs that they sang, or the Oriki songs. If you're not Yoruba, Oriki is like when you're trying to exalt people. They sang songs like that a lot, and the Yoruba songs were just totally rich. I loved the beats. I loved everything about that, which is going to take me to another thing that I found very noteworthy in this movie. I loved the deep Yoruba proverbs that they used. And I think it wasn't just Yoruba proverbs, if I'm being sure. It wasn't just Yoruba proverbs. They used Yoruba proverbs and they used Igbo proverbs, because in this particular one they spoke, like they focused even more on the Igbo language than the first King of Boys through English, and some little people here and there that were in the movie. I know that Chigel was there. She spoke Igbo a lot. And another thing that was just really great about this movie is that it was all encompassing. Like the major tribes in Nigeria, the major tribes in Nigeria, the Yoruba tribe, the Igbo tribe, and the Hausa tribe. Of course, they did not speak so much Hausa. I don't know why, but at least you were able to see that there were Hausa people, there were Yoruba people, and there were Igbo people in the movie. And another thing is the Nigerian map. That way you're able to see that the one Kemi Adetiba used, she used 3 different hands coming together, and I think that was very noteworthy. Another thing that is very noteworthy about this movie, I liked that in some scenes you're able to see that they paid attention to some details. Like for instance, I liked that FAY was using a iPhone 7 Plus. I don't know if that's enough details, but I like that. And the way that they introduced their characters, it was amazing. The way that they introduced Ake Lewis, you're able to see that okay, Ake Lewis is no longer the Ake Lewis. Like of course, he still had so much power, but you need to see that at some, like you're able to see that okay, power has started to change hands a little bit. The way they just introduced their character, for me, it was very stellar. The way they introduced all of their major characters. Another thing that is very noteworthy about this movie is the costume. Like, oh my god, Jesus, you guys, I absolutely loved the dresses that they wore in this movie. Like every of the women in this movie, they wore power outfits. Eniola's gowns, oh my Jesus. Eniola, Intie, Petim, and that chief, like their gowns were beautiful at every point. And it just made a statement. You cannot see gowns like that and know that okay, these women have power. So let me not talk too much. Another thing that I absolutely love from this movie is the dialogue. It wasn't all the time that I loved the dialogue, because I'm still coming back to that. It wasn't all the time that I loved the dialogue, but for every time that the dialogue hit home, like it hit home, like it was just that's how it felt. Like you feel it, like in your bones, in your belly. And one of the dialogues, the people that I absolutely loved their dialogue so much in this movie was Eniola Salami and Inse Petim. Yeah, that's Eniola Salami and Jumoke Rando. Like at every point, she said that this is power meets power, and they were able to properly express that in this movie. So yeah, if I could continue, of course there's so many other things that I like in the movie, but I feel like these ones are like the most noteworthy ones. So now I'm going to be telling you some of the things that I did not quite find, some things that I did not quite like. You people should remember that I said I am a very big fan of King of Boys, and I think that for anything that I say here, I feel like that's actually really how I see it. Because for the King of Boys one, I know that I fought tooth and nail with so many people that disagreed with me that the movie was not a 100. It was the best thing that ever happened to Nollywood in 2019. Was it 2019 or 2018? It was not the best thing that ever happened that time. So I'm going to just be talking about the things that I am not. I already mentioned that. So the first thing has to be that there were so many new people, so many characters in this movie, and that way it felt like it kind of stole from the weight of the characters, of the weight that some characters had in the first King of Boys. So for instance, look at Makanaki. Makanaki did not have enough screen time. Of course, when he came, he was still able to establish himself as Makanaki, the man of terror, Makanaki, you understand. But at the same time, I felt like there was not enough screen time for Makanaki to properly be in his element and establish. While at the same time, he was giving screen time to so many people. I understand that he was trying to establish a background for especially dark, but that's Efewara. I was trying to establish a background for Efewara's character, but at the same time, I felt like Efewara, and especially he and his wife, they had too many screen times, and it was just kind of a little bit off to me, which will lead me to my second point in this movie. I feel like there were so many things that they could have, they could have done away with, or so many things that they could have, so many things that they could have, so many scenes that they could have compressed, so many things, like, I'm sorry again, I'm going to just say, like, so many things that Iwara and his wife, that they were, going on and on about, that was just, it wasn't quite, it was just like this. So I feel like they could have definitely cut some parts short, and it kind of also empowered, like, it kind of empowered some of its characters from the first King of Boys. I mean, somebody like Adetiba is Titi Kuti, he had so much to do in this particular one. I wasn't quite sure about how I felt about it. I mean, I just felt like, it's your bodyguard, we know that this guy is loyal, but the story that they told through to Titi Kuti was very awesome. It was really awesome, actually. So, but I just felt like too many people, too many things were going on all at once. There were too many opposing parties, so it was even hard to properly focus for me. That I'm saying that from my own point of view. Another thing that I would definitely want to talk about is the pacing of this movie. I absolutely think that they could have done better with their pacing. The transitioning could have done better. Like, for some scenes, it was quite long. At some points that I wanted to forward some scenes. Okay, for instance, where Bob Manuel was, during the press conference that Bob Manuel exposed some things, I feel like they definitely could have, reduced it and cut some scenes short. That way, that movie was not going to be as long as it really was. Another thing that I did not like was that the movie, it started like this. Do you understand? The first episode was like high up there. I was wailing, crying like a child in the first episode. And then the second episode just came down, and it just kept coming down to the third episode, because they took time in establishing what exactly this second one was going to be about. Like, what is going to be the power tussle in this particular one. They took their time, because since episode 2 and episode 3 was majorly centered around Iwara, Iwara, and I didn't like that. But it picked up from the fourth episode, and from there the pacing was quite okay from the fourth episode. But from there on, like from the fourth episode, it was great. It felt from the fourth episode to the seventh episode, that way you see that okay, it didn't drop and come up again. Another thing from this movie that I feel like, okay, maybe this is just my own point of view, I feel like there were some little things that were not like exactly possible. I don't know if I'm right with that, because a friend of mine was still arguing about it, and that would definitely be like, how was it possible that it was Eniola Salami that was able to make the president win all the way from where she was exiled? And here's why I say that, because we know why Eniola Salami left in the first place. She made a lot of enemies. Nobody was exactly supporting her. All that she had was the King of Boys. That's the table. So probably they were the ones that helped the president to win. But we're talking about the whole of Nigeria here. We're not talking about the president of Lagos. Do you understand? We're not talking about the governor of Lagos. So that part, I didn't quite agree with it. Of course, I know that she's powerful and stuff, but yeah. So those are the things that I did not quite like. So now I'm going to be talking about the characters, the roles they played, and how amazing I think they did. So the first person has to be Shola Sobowale. You guys, like, I absolutely love Shola Sobowale. Oh my goodness. Like, that woman acts so well at every point. She understood the assignment. She understood the emotions that you had to put to, like, she understood it, like, totally. And her character had power. He had strength. Like, he did shake, he did move. But it just, her character was amazing for me. At every point that I found her crying, I cried with her. At every point that she was high up there, and Mama tight when she was she dealt with things, say, like, so much. I absolutely loved it. Like, I absolutely loved Shola Sobowale's acting. I would give her acting 100. If there's anything more than 100, I would give her acting more than 100. Another character that I absolutely love and was very noteworthy for me would be Inse Ikpe Etim. Oh, like you guys know that I absolutely think that Inse Ikpe Etim is a queen. I think that she acts well. Inse Ikpe Etim has the perfect mannerism. She's so classy. Oh my gosh, like the dresses that she wore, her lipstick was always at 100. And her class, the way there was a particular way she did her lips, and you know the kind of powerful words that she used to say. There's one that is particularly coming to my head right now, but it's not from my mouth that you're going to hear it. But you know the way she was able to, like, at every point establish her power. I absolutely love that. Another person that I think did quite great was Tony Tones. You guys, I loved Tony Tones' part in this movie. It was like she was the devil that was feeding Shola Shobowale. In my head I was like, oh, they feeling the now. She was just at every point say, let me not do that, let me not do that. But I absolutely loved Tony Tone's acting, even though I do not understand why. Like, now that I watched it again, I'm like, oh, like, I do not think that she could have played as Eniola younger version. But you know, in the first King of Boys, it was established that, you know, she bleached her skin and stuff. So I think that would definitely work. Another person from this movie was Richard Mofe Damijo. This one, right? I'm not sure that I'm going to give Richard Mofe Damijo 100. I'm not sure I'm going to give him 100 because I think Richard Mofe Damijo is an awesome actor, right? I think everybody knows that he's an awesome actor. But I don't know. I just felt like his acting was good. It was really good, but it felt like he wasn't eating home at some point. At some point, it was really eating home, but at some point, I felt like, ugh. Like there's something there that I'm looking for that I didn't quite get. And you know, another person that I kind of felt this way about was F.A. Wara. F.A. Wara is a good enough actor. I mean, from King of Boys, and I mean, I'm saying King of Boys, from Men's Club, everybody knows that F.A. Wara does really quite alright. But this movie is either maybe, I don't just know. I just wasn't able to like totally connect with his person in the movie. I wasn't able to totally form a character connection with him, and at every point I was just like, oh, okay, and of course it was very dull in the movie. I mean, he underplayed my own Eniola Salami. He underplayed her in the movie. Yeah, another person has to be Deyemi Okonlawon. This is definitely another different role from what we're used to him playing. And I think that kind of, he kind of like still, it was a bit shaky for me because I'm like, first off, yeah, this is not what Deyemi Okonlawon acts. And yeah, you understand, if you watched my debate review, you see that I understand that you don't have to act the same things all the time. And in debate, he absolutely killed his acting there. But I felt like here, he was just sloppy and stuff. But I think that's what that's what it was required to play. Maybe another person would have killed more for that role, but he still did okay. Deyemi Okonlawon is really a good character. Another person is Osas Ighodaro. You know, her screen time wasn't a lot, but she was okay. Yeah, and yes, at this point I want to talk about Ilbliss. Ilbliss was refreshing. You know, it was one of the people that carried away the tension from the movie. Something that I must say before we go forward is that if you do not have the mind for violence, you do not want to watch this movie. If you do not like violence, you definitely do not watch, because the movie in itself was rated 18+. So let me just go back to Ilbliss. So I don't know how to explain. Maybe because I was looking at Ilbliss with the same expectations, the same way Makanaki Reminisce delivered. Of course, even in the movie, they were two different people, totally opposites, you know. But yeah, his acting was good, his acting was okay, it was funny and stuff, but I wouldn't give him 100. Another person is Titi Kuti, you know, very fine man, so gorgeous. I like fine men. I'm sorry, because at every point that we were watching, I started watching with my sister before my area people decided to do what they do best. They took the light, so I had to watch it by myself. I just kept telling myself, guy, he's fine. What he find you? But man, I just felt like, you know, like his acting didn't quite hit home for me. I know you people will be wondering, what's wrong with you, or why is everybody's acting not quite hitting home for you? Maybe because from King of Boys 1, like I watched King of Boys 1, I literally ate that movie up. I kept telling people that story like over and over again. So by the time I heard that King of Boys 2 was coming, maybe that would be from my own end, and like I already gave it like my expectations for it were already like I update, and it still met my expectations. I just felt like some of the characters, the people that acted in the movie, they definitely could have done okay. They could have done better than that. Another person that could have done better. Oh, Reminisce still did well. He just didn't have enough screen time. And yeah, have I mentioned every other person's name? And I loved the chief. I've mentioned that. I absolutely loved the chief. The governor, yeah. It was okay. It was okay. I mean, I like strong characters, and I think that's actually one of the reasons why I'm just saying the other ones were okay. But the governor too, he was not bad. He was able to deliver on the role that he was given. So yeah, I think that's about that. But every other thing I mentioned, costume great, lightning is Kemi Adetiba. Kemi Adetiba is the queen. Pacing, I didn't think it was great. And could the movie have been shorter? Definitely, it could have been way shorter than that. And then Bimbo Manuel too, it was okay. Bimbo Manuel was okay in this scene, but I've seen Bimbo Manuel act greater things than how he acted in this movie. I've seen him from Fourth Republic, I've seen him from Ayla. So I don't think his acting was a 100 for me in this movie. But I think everything also all boils down to the fact that I feel like many of them didn't have enough screen time to properly establish their character. I don't know if I have done this review justice, but these are the things that I noticed from the movie. I just felt like it dragged at some point, but the story, great story. I absolutely love the ending, like, because in my head I was like, is this what I waited for my King of Boys for? Like all along, no, this can't be my Eniola. But at the end, I'm like, yes, that's my queen right there. That's my queen. So you guys, thank you so much for watching this review. If you loved it, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, thank you again for watching it. Give this video a thumbs up, drop your comments in the comment section, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Bye.